The judge didn't even look at me when he said it. He was staring down at a stack of papers, like they might rearrange themselves into a different ending if he waited long enough. Then he glanced up over his glasses and asked, very calmly, "Mrs. Porter, are you prepared for the court to review the full history of this case?" Prepared? I almost laughed. Prepared was what I'd been for 10 years. Amanda was sitting 3 chairs down from me, perfectly styled hair, cream blazer, hands folded like she was at Sunday brunch instead of family court. My parents were behind her. Margaret's lips were pressed into that thin line I grew up fearing. Robert was studying the carpet like it had answers written in the fibers. And me? I just nodded. What happened in that courtroom didn't explode all at once. It unfolded slowly, like someone pulling back a curtain inch by inch. But to understand why that day mattered, you have to go back to the night everything changed. It was late October, cold enough that my breath fogged the air when I stepped onto my porch. I'd just gotten home from a double shift at the clinic. My scrubs smelled like antiseptic and stale coffee. I remember thinking how badly I wanted a shower and silence. Instead, I heard crying, soft at first, then sharper, desperate. There was a laundry basket on my porch, not even a proper carrier, just one of those plastic ones with the oval holes in the sides. Inside it was a baby wrapped in a pink hoodie and a hospital blanket, and a note. "Her name is Lily. I can't do this. You always could." Signed, Amanda. That was it. No explanation. No, "I'm sorry." Just delegation. Like she was handing off a chore she didn't feel like finishing. I stood there for a full minute, frozen. The porch light hummed overhead. The baby's face was red from crying, tiny fists flailing. I remember whispering, "Oh my God," over and over, like that might wake me up. I called my mom first. Straight to voicemail. I called again. Nothing. When Robert finally answered, he sounded annoyed. "Do you know what time it is?" "She left a baby on my porch," I said. Silence. Then, "Well, that's unfortunate." Unfortunate. I should have known right then I was alone in this. By sunrise, Lily was asleep in a borrowed bassinet in my living room. CPS had come and gone. They asked questions, took notes, looked around my tiny 2-bedroom house like they were assessing whether it could stretch itself to fit a future I hadn't planned for. I told them I'd keep her. Temporary at least. Temporary turned into permanent faster than I expected. Amanda vanished. Phone disconnected. Social media gone. No forwarding address. Just gone. Margaret sent one email 3 months later. "I still have it." 3 sentences. "We are not in a position to raise another child. We trust you'll handle the situation appropriately. Please don't involve us further." Handle the situation appropriately. As if Lily were a parking ticket. The first year was survival mode. I switched shifts. Sold my old car for something safer. Learned how to function on 4 hours of sleep and pure adrenaline. Lily had colic. She screamed for hours some nights. I'd walk the living room floor whispering, "I've got you. I've got you," even when I wasn't sure I did. But she smiled at me at 6 weeks old, this crooked little grin that felt like sunlight cracking through clouds, and something inside me locked into place. She wasn't a situation. She was mine. The legal process took 2 years. Termination of Amanda's parental rights. Adoption hearings. Paperwork stacked so high, it could have passed for modern art. Through all of it, my parents stayed silent. Not one visit. Not one birthday card. I still sent them photos. Every month. Here's Lily at the pumpkin patch. Here's Lily's first day of preschool. Here's Lily missing her front tooth. I don't know why I kept trying. Maybe I needed proof that I hadn't shut them out. Maybe I needed to know I wasn't the villain in a story they'd eventually tell. Amanda resurfaced once when Lily was 4. Called out of nowhere asking for $400 because she was between apartments. I said, "Do you want to talk to your daughter?" She hung up. That told me everything. By the time Lily turned 9, our life felt solid. Not fancy, just steady. Saturday pancakes, library trips, dance recitals, where she'd wave at me from the stage like I was the only person in the building. Then Thomas Garrett entered the picture. He sent a letter, said he'd dated Amanda years ago, had no idea she'd been pregnant. Found out through a mutual friend who recognized Lily's face in a community newsletter. We met for coffee. He was nervous, kept rubbing the back of his neck. When the DNA results confirmed he was Lily's biological father, he didn't demand anything. He didn't threaten. He said, "I just want to show up, if you'll let me." And he did. Once a month at first, then more. He taught Lily how to sand wood smooth, helped her build a birdhouse, listened when she talked about school drama like it was the most important thing in the world. He also set up a trust for her. Quietly, didn't tell Amanda, didn't involve my parents. I missed years, he told me. I won't miss her future. When he died suddenly of an aneurysm 2 years later, it knocked the air out of all of us. Lily cried into my shoulder and whispered, "Why do dads leave?" I didn't have a clean answer. The trust ended up worth just under $300,000 after everything settled. And that's when Amanda came back. Funny how timing works, huh? She showed up at my door in a tailored coat, like grief had polished her. "I've grown," she said. "I want my daughter back. Not, I miss her. Not, I'm sorry. Back." Margaret started calling too. "We deserve to know our granddaughter." Deserve. They filed for custody within a month. In their petition, they accused me of alienation, said I'd manipulated Lily, claimed I blocked their attempts to reconnect. I brought the receipts, every email, every voicemail, every unopened invitation, Amanda's recorded calls asking for money, Margaret's written request for no further contact, and Thomas's affidavit stating clearly that Lily's stability was with me. Back to the courtroom. Amanda testified first, cried on cue, said she'd always meant to return, that I'd turned Lily against her. When it was my turn, I didn't cry. I said, "Your Honor, I didn't turn anyone against anyone. I kept the porch light on." The judge read through everything, slowly, thoroughly. When he finished, he said, "This court does not reward absence." He dismissed their petition with prejudice. Amanda's composure shattered. "She's my blood," she shouted. The judge replied, "Blood alone does not constitute parenting." Margaret didn't look at me when she left. Robert paused for half a second, like he might say something. He didn't. That night, Lily and I ate takeout Chinese on the living room floor. She asked, "So, we're okay?" "We were always okay," I said. She grinned. "Good. Because I don't feel like moving." Neither did I. A week later, Robert mailed a short note. "I failed you. I see that now." I folded it and put it away. Some apologies are more about the sender than the receiver. You know what I mean? The porch light is still on every night, not because I'm waiting anymore, but because it reminds me who I was when this started. A tired 24-year-old nurse who could have said no and didn't. Family isn't about who shows up when there's money involved. It's about who stays when there's nothing but diapers, doubt, and a crying baby at 2 a.m. If you've ever been the one who stayed, the one who carried the weight quietly while everyone else walked away, I see you, and I promise you this, showing up counts, even when nobody claps. If this story hit home, subscribe to Her Untold Revenge. Share this with someone who's fighting their own quiet battle. You never know who needs the reminder that love backed by action is stronger than blood backed by action. I'll see you in the next story.